There.
Can I press your button now? Can you just remind me that article, that sentence of the article that compared you to that jazz music? Come on, please.
So there was when I was trying to figure myself out and to find my voice as an artist and to position myself in the world and to figure out where I stand and how I wanted to stand. When I was thinking about how to show up, I envisioned myself in the third person, and I saw myself as someone who was a lot more courageous and expressive than who I thought I was when I was brooding in anxiousness and self-consciousness. And so I envisioned myself in the third person as a person free of self-consciousness, somebody who could be truthful, somebody who could be transparent, somebody who could tell the truth. And then I wanted to engender because we are contextual beings, right? And so I knew that who I was at home with my parents, or who I was when I was sitting with the cool kids in school, wasn't the person I wanted to be when I was at my most truthful. And so I envisioned myself becoming the version of me that was the most truthful, right? I wanted who I was to shine brightly, free of inhibition or constraint. And so in order to do that, I engendered spaces where I could lose myself, surrender myself, let everything go, and basically perform a trust fall for myself, right? Like, this is like open heart surgery of the psyche. Like, I wanted to express myself completely and without inhibition. And then I wanted to document that. I wanted to capture that lightning in a bottle. What happens when I become the person that's there when I'm not there? And the person that's there when I'm not there, like who I am, when I'm broken open, can that be captured? You know, is it possible for those transcriptions to be recorded without self-consciousness collapsing the through line, right? The minute you become aware of yourself, your train of thought gets garbled, and then you ruin the take, you ruin the moment. You're no longer being truthful. But anyway, I was able to engender this. I was able to create the conditions in which I could witness myself getting out of myself. I was in a state of ecstasy. I was beside myself. And then what happened is something came through. It comes through you but not from you, and though it is with you, it belongs not to you. And then watching the recording later and setting it to music took my breath away. And then I tried to explain to people, what is this? I'm like, well, I'm trying to show you my inner life when I'm having an epiphany, right? I'm trying to capture an epiphany in real time, genuine inspiration, an eruption from a volcano. And I shared my work with people, and I was just starting out and trying to get myself noticed, and eventually it caught the attention of, I believe, the Imaginary Foundation, my friend Nick Phillip, who then wrote a review about my work. They normally make t-shirts, and what he said was that I was like a modern-day Charlie Mingus, and that modern-day Charlie Mingus who riffs and rhapsodizes through a tumbling thicket of ideas with such a sharp and vital alacrity that it takes the breath away.
I can see why you liked it. It's just like a colorful necklace, you know? Those words sounds like a colorful necklace, you know?
It was like the most beautiful thing. I couldn't believe that guy was talking about my work. I felt for a moment complete. Like a modern-day Charlie Mingus, he riffs and rhapsodizes through a tumbling... Okay, let's start again. Like a modern-day Charlie Mingus, he riffs and rhapsodizes through a tumbling thicket of ideas with such a sharp and vital alacrity that it can take the breath away. And I was like, holy fucking shit, who's he talking about? But the guy was describing my work.
If you ever write a book or something, that's like, behind the books, like there's these references of like impressed, like telegraphs I mean like a journal establishment or a person.
Yes.
They live like the sentence that describes the entire message of the book. So that should be put as a main title behind your book.
Oh well,
that description.
I mean,
of you,
and
it just nails it down.
And not only did it nail down my the deepest aspirations for freedom from self was to basically become jazz. Stop trying to make art and just become art. And that description, to me, seemed like an account of somebody who had become jazz. To riff and rhapsodize through a tumbling thicket of ideas with such a sharp and vital alacrity that it can take the breath away is beyond measure. I wish I knew that guy. I wish I was that guy. I think you can become this if for a moment, and then you relapse back into yourself, a being that shits and dies and gets moody and depressed and anxious and all that jazz. But I have touched the promised land, and anyway.
Well, I just want to say that, for example, I am bewitched. Bewitched by language.
Me too.
That's why I love you. I love listening you riff. I love listening to Terence McKenna. I love listening to Jamie Wheel. I just love listening to beautiful language that explains away things in understandable matter.
100,000%.
I get turned on by that.
No, I know. No. That's called, don't worry, it's called cognitive ecstasy.
Yeah.
People who are bewitched by language are cognitive ecstasy addicts. And I think ultimately what the lightning in a bottle that I want to capture is cognitive ecstasy. I want my videos to evoke cognitive ecstasy. I want my videos to be state-changing technologies, right? I want to overwhelm not just an audience, but myself into an altered state. I want to induce reveries so that I can riff and rhapsodize through a tumbling thicket of ideas with such a sharp and vital alacrity that it can take the breath away. Like, I want to play jazz. I want to become jazz. And I want to jazz the audience that listens to my work. I mean, that's the goal, I think, of any artist. We are bewitched by language. We are bewitched by art. We have become our art in our most precious and breathless moments.